Hi Cliff fans and welcome to another one of my 5 minute Cliff album reviews, and today I'm going to review Cliff's 1967 album Don't Stop Me Now. And it's an album that I'm not that actually fond of. I was very excited. I bought this album in the secondhand store on vinyl years ago, and I was very excited when I seen the track list, and there's a couple of Beatles songs on it. Good golly, Miss Molly, some great rock and roll on it. Move It, My Babe, um, some great cracking songs on it, and I was very excited to get this home and play it. And then the first thing I realised that all these songs are played with an orchestra and not a real proper band, um, which is probably the biggest disappointment I have with this album. For these type of songs, I would have much preferred them to use like a band or even get the Shadows to play all the tracks. But anyway, I'll go through the tracks. There's one or two I actually really like, and probably the ones I like are probably the ones I feel work best with orchestra in the background. So the album out opens with "Shout," which was a cover of Lulu's big hit at the time, and yeah, Lulu had a big roaring version of that song. So I think it's a bit silly of Cliff to try and compete with that. Song doesn't suit him as far as I'm concerned. I don't think it suits him really good. I think he should have given that song a miss. But Shout, yeah, it's a fun track, but again, I don't feel like it suits Cliff. The next song, I'm not too bad. I don't actually mind that too much. It's called One Fine Day, which was another cover of a song that was really famous. I can't remember who had the original hit, but Cliff's version is very similar to um, the band that had that song out at the time, and I really like that track. That's probably one of my favourites on this album. Followed by the Beatles' "I'll Be Back," which I don't. I've always said the Cliff covering the Beatles. When he does it, he usually uses orchestra and does it totally different to the Beatles. This one I don't find as bad as some of the others. I think the song actually works with an orchestra. It's actually a nice version of "I'll Be Back," which was from the Beatles. It was from the Hard Day's Night soundtrack album, and I think that works well. The next track, "Heartbeat," which is Buddy Holly cover, is okay. I'm not crazy about that version of prefer Buddy Holly's version, to be honest. Followed by "I Saw Her Standing There," which I used to love this version of it. It's so much energy on it. It's a lot faster. It's like a ballroom version of "I Saw Her Standing There." But over the years, I kind of gone off this version because this is probably one of my favorite Beatles songs. So I've kind of gone off Cliff's version completely. The next song is "Hang On to a Dream," which is probably the best song on the album as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely love this. It actually works well with the orchestra. The song is definitely a 10 out of 10 from me. It was written by a guy called Tim Harden, who wrote songs like "Reason to Believe." He also wrote a couple of other songs that Cliff sang on tour, like "The Lady Came from Baltimore." He wrote that one as well. Be a beautiful song. The next track I found out years later features Hank and Bruce in the background. I don't know why they didn't get to play on this album, but they sing backing vocals on "You Gotta Tell Me," which is it's a fun track as well, and it kind of that works okay with an orchestra. The next track, "Homeward Bound," should have left that one alone as well, as far as I'm concerned. Don't really like that version. "Good Golly, Miss Molly," nope, don't like that version either. Absolutely hated this version. The version that Cliff done live at the event is a million times better, and he done that version again like in a couple of tours after that as well. Next track is another Tin Harden song, "Don't Make Promises," which is okay as well. The next track, "Movie." I wish I could just why he felt he had to re-record with an orchestra, probably the best rock and roll song of all time, I will never know. This is probably the worst version of Move It I've ever heard in my whole life. I absolutely detest this version of the album Move It. Absolutely detest it. So going moving straight through because I don't really want to say anything else that will offend. Is a beautiful cover of an old 50s song from Elvis. Don't. I think Cliff does a great job on that. Dizzy Miss Lizzy is probably one of the worst rock and roll songs of all time. The Beatles covered it as well, and I hate the Beatles version of it as well. I don't really like the Beatles version of it. I don't find it a good song, so I'm not going to blame Cliff for that one. It's not a good song. Dizzy Miss Lizzy is probably one of the worst rock and roll songs of all time, as far as I'm concerned, by Larry Williams. Follows with Baby It's You. Beautiful, absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10 for me on that one. My Babe is actually, I actually love this version of it. It's a really fun track, but the only problem I have with it is only like 2 minutes or something. So I would like it to be a bit longer because it's actually really fun. You're only getting into the track and it's over. And the last song on the album is a lovely cover of Save the Last Dance by Me, for me, which was a cover of course, the Drifters classic, which I think Cliff closes the album really well with. And that's 10 out of 10 for that one as well. So overall, what I probably like about 30% of the album. I wouldn't even say 50% of the album. I probably only like about 30% of the album. So this is probably going to be the lowest ranking of all Cliff albums for me. It's probably my least favourite Cliff album of all time. And so I'm going to rank it at a 5 out of 10. Just because I like one or two of the tracks, it gets a 5 out of 10 for me. But I'd like to hear in the section below your thoughts on Don't Stop Me Now.